and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and my guest today is Terri McCann from Economic Development. Welcome, Terri.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be back again.
It is wonderful. Now, we're going to talk about business opportunities that come with incentive grants, and it's a little bit complicated, so you're going to walk us through it.
Okay.
But Hampton has 2 enterprise zones.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means that we are very fortunate to have 2 enterprise zones in the City of Hampton. It is actually a partnership between the Commonwealth of Virginia and the municipality, and it offers incentives to businesses, one being the Real Property Investment Grant and one being a Job Creation Grant. And this is a really good time for us to be talking about this because we're approaching the April 1st deadline date for applications for the previous calendar year.
So this is something you apply for after? You have to prove that you made the investment either in your building, either a new building or remodeling, redeveloping, expansion, something.
Right, rehabilitation of an existing structure.
Or job creation. So this isn't like money the state hands out because you might do something with your business.
Oh, no. You have actually done something with your business.
You have to prove you've done something.
Right.
But
and
you know it's
done.
kind of an automatic, though. You know it's going to come back to you if you make these investments.
Right.
And you're in
and
the zone and
apply.
you've completed everything.
And if you apply on time, which is April 1st annually. And it's done on a calendar year basis. So right now, we will be handling applications to arrive at the state of Virginia in Richmond. The Department of Housing and Community Development administers the program. So the requirement is for any business to have their application in by the 1st. So we're already seeing them coming in, but it would be for someone, for instance, who received their certificate of occupancy within calendar year 2015.
Okay.
So if we have anybody that started in 15, let's say, September, October, and their project won't be completed until April of this year, they would be applying in 17 by April 1st.
So people who've qualified for this year kind of already know. You make your investments as a business person knowing this program. But so let's assume that we're mostly talking to folks who are thinking about starting or expanding a business. They might want to be thinking that they should locate in these zones.
Or find out if they are located in the zones.
And it is most of Hampton's commercial areas, really.
Yes, it is, and our business parks.
Yeah, so it's the places that are zoned business are likely, not 100%, but very likely to be in these areas. Do you want to talk us through where they exist, the 2 different zones?
Yes, I like to say that if you took the city of Hampton, sliced it in half across the middle,
which is usually across Mercury.
Exactly, that's exactly right. That the urban zone is located in the southern part of the city. The northern part, of course, is our Hampton Roads Center zone, and that includes everything from Wythe Creek Park to Langley Research and Development Center, the entire Magruder Boulevard corridor. And
that's where most of the city's commercial developable land is.
Yes.
And some of it's in private hands. A lot of it is held by the EDA, Economic Development Authority. I'm sorry. I promise I will not use abbreviations on this show.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our big company, our office park, research grants, aerospace related things.
Exactly.
A lot of the
defense
new science park and tech park that we're working on. Those kinds of things are going to go.
And with that Hampton Roads Center zone, the important thing that happened during last year is that the zone was actually ending its 20-year term on December 31st of 15. And we had the opportunity to apply, I believe it was August, when we were completing our application and submitting it, and there were only 5 slots left in the entire state of Virginia.
The state is really reining this program in.
Yes,
I think
they are.
They don't want to give grants to everybody,
and they
needed to put some caps on it.
Right.
So, and Hampton already had one. We already had the urban zone.
Exactly.
So getting this renewed was not an easy feat.
Exactly. And it wasn't even actually a renewal. It's a
New.
brand new zone.
Okay.
Because the Hampton Road Center Zone did end its 20-year term. So, as I said, there were 5 slots left in the state. We were fortunate to have, gotten one of the 5. And I think that I truly believe that it was because of our past performance. Because if you look at, from 2005 through 2014, the state actually paid out disbursements in excess of $3.7 million to businesses that applied over that time period.
Oh, so you're
That's
saying
huge.
the state does want to give the money, and the state wants the enterprise zones to be used.
Absolutely.
We really want to encourage that business development, that job growth development, and so they're looking for localities that market it, that use it, that really work with businesses to locate and grow.
And I think that's where we had a very strong suit in that respect because, during that time period, there were a lot of businesses that developed and, were very successful. So they didn't mind giving away that money. They have just made a commitment to take it down to 30 zones within the state of Virginia.
So right now we have 2. Most localities don't. I won't say we're the only ones. We're not, but it's rare to have 2. So
Or to
let's
have
talk
one-
about the southern one that we have on the other side of Mercury Boulevard.
Right, and that's the urban zone. And you can basically track that, and I think you said it earlier, with Mercury Boulevard. And it goes as far as Net Center and comes all the way across, even at this point, because we've amended it a few times, reaches all the way into the Willow Oaks area where there was never a piece of a zone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it does go a long way. It covers
And it goes
the
down Aberdeen and Pembroke and some of the other
Copeland
commercial.
Industrial Park, and it comes across and carries the southern portion of the Coliseum area, the Kecoughtan Corridor, Pembroke Avenue. So it really covers the majority of our commercial area.
And some of those could be smaller businesses. Like we tend to think of, your FedEx, your,
Exactly.
those large entities that come in, but it, or, Howmet for their expansion, things like
Absolutely.
that. But it can be, a small stone cutter or a small, something industrial but small that adds
Exactly.
jobs and builds or rehabilitates existing buildings.
Right. And they do have qualifiers for, for the program. So if somebody is rehabilitating or renovating a structure, the minimal investment amount for the Real Property Investment Grant would be $100,000.
Oh, that's doable. That's
Yes.
not,
That's not unusual for somebody
Right.
that's doing that much work on a
Right.
property. And new construction, minimum is $500,000. So, that, again, is very doable for most people that are looking to build.
And I think sometimes, small businesses are good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They're not always, they don't have the staff to know what they might qualify or how to reach out. So I just want to encourage them to call you or call anybody in our economic development office.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because there may be money out there they're eligible for that they don't even know.
Exactly.
Or changes that they're planning over the next couple years that they could get some money back from the state for making those investments.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a good opportunity for business, so, we welcome the opportunity to talk with anyone that has interest, and certainly go to our website, and you can get the very specific details on the program.
And that's helpful, but I got to tell you,
You'd rather talk to somebody.
I put a lot of this stuff up on the website, and I'm like, anything the government does is complicated and long, and it's all long for a reason. But talking to somebody
Right.
and asking that question might be a little faster than
Right, exactly.
wading through the rules yourself.
That's
If
absolutely
you're a
true.
businessman and you have, X skill over here, it doesn't always translate to filling out the forms
Right.
and knowing all that kind of stuff. So
Right.
just give you guys a call, and
Exactly.
you may be able to answer it like that. You may be able to guide people in a way that says, if you do it this way, and the rules aren't going to say that, but if you do it this way, if you make this kind of little, maybe more than you thought, but it'll
Right.
cost you less because you'll get some of it back. And that is part of what it's for. It's to encourage people to make a little bit bigger investment.
Absolutely.
To choose Hampton. Can we say that?
Exactly. We always say choose Hampton. So, yes, that's a common occurrence for us to sit down with a business and go over what their potential incentives are. It's common when we have a company that's looking at Hampton from outside the area or outside the country. That's sometimes one of the first questions they ask.
They're savvy.
you
Really, people
have
who are
an
making that
enterprise zone?
choice now, who are large, know to ask, and
Right.
they know what to do. But some of your smaller local companies may not know.
That's
and
correct.
They should know.
Right. So we try to educate people as often as possible. We like for them to come and talk with us at any time and how we can assist them. That's one of the first things that we'll bring up. You know, because if they're located, in most cases they are, in the enterprise zone, then there's opportunity for them.
Okay. Thank you very much, Terri. Appreciate you coming
you.
by. And thank you for watching. I hope if you have a business in Hampton that you're thinking about expanding, remodeling, restructuring, or growing a little bit to add some jobs, call the Economic Development Department and let them talk you through what your options are and how you may be able to get some incentives to help you make that investment so that you can choose Hampton for your new business or for your expansion. Thanks for watching.